What is good, YouTube, and welcome back to a brand new video. We're back here today on NBA 2K24 here for another 10-year rebuild, and today we're going to be doing a team that's going to be very interesting to look at here in maybe even 5 years, let alone 10 years. And that, of course, is the Phoenix Suns, who went all in on this offseason and basically have gone all in ever since Matt Ishbia has gotten here, going for Kevin Durant, got Bradley Beal this offseason, they traded Aiden, they did a lot of things, put the roster where they are now, and it's going to be interesting to see what this team looks like as we keep going forward. So let's just go ahead, jump in, and do a 10-year Phoenix Suns rebuild. Before we get into today's video, make sure you guys drop a like in this one and subscribe if you are new to this channel. As always, greatly appreciated. If you are new around here, allow me to introduce myself. Obviously, I'm Crushables on YouTube. I'm a content creator when it comes to rebuilds here on 2K, and I try to keep 90% of my rebuilds realistic, which is something I pride myself in. So if you enjoy like realistic style rebuilds, enjoy the realism part of the NBA, I try my best to keep it that way. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. We're on the road to 50,000 subs. Other than that, as I told you guys, 10-year Phoenix Suns rebuild today. So obviously we got 10 years of the Suns. And obviously one thing we know for a fact is the draft picks, it's not a great situation. They got a few pick swaps here and there. Other than that, though, they don't own a lot of their future picks. So we're probably going to be really scraping at the bottom of the barrel, obviously, once Kevin Durant, Bradley Beal, and Booker are gone. So, obviously, Booker, we have some time with him. He's only 26 years old at this point. So, for this first season, we're just going to see how things go. I'm not going to do much of anything. I just kind of want to see how the team does, and we're going to see if we can go out there and win a championship. So, I'm actually going to go ahead and slide Kevin Durant down to the 4. That way, we can have, like, a Kogi start at the 3. I think that would make a lot more sense. So, it'll be Devin Booker, Beal, Kogi, Kevin Durant, Nurkic, Eric Gordon, Bol, Drew Eubanks, and Nasir Little as our rotation this season, and we're gonna go ahead and roll with that. So 9-man rotation for year number 1. Proficiency 3.5 grit and grind. It could be a 4-star balance. We're gonna go ahead and move it to a balanced system. So yeah, year number 1, we're not gonna do anything. I just kind of want to see how this Phoenix Suns team is gonna do. We made a few changes with the rotation and position changes, but other than that, I want to see if this team is really good in the West. Can we get a championship out of the way as soon as possible? Obviously, right now, at the beginning of this 10-year rebuild, we are in a championship mode. We're trying to win championships. So, obviously, we won a championship this season. Then we need to make moves to try to upgrade ourselves. Now, it's not going to be easy because the assets are limited, but we're going to do our best. I'll see you guys at the end of year number 1. But as you guys should know, today's video is brought to you by PrizePicks. If you don't know what PrizePicks is, it's a player props app that's available on mobile or desktop. You basically go on PrizePicks. They have all kinds of sports outside of just basketball, but they give you stats, and you basically just pick the more or the less on them. So let's say we wanted to go to 3-pointers attempted today. And I am recording this on a Friday, which is why you'll see the Friday games, obviously. But let's say we think LaMelo Ball is going to attempt more or 10 threes than that. We're going to go ahead and click the more on that. Cade Cunningham, same thing. We go more and more on both of them. Basically, you choose between 2 to 6 players. 2 players being 3 times your entry, all the way up to 6 players being 25 times your entry. And it just gives you an extra sweat while you watch basketball games or watch whatever sport you want to use PrizePicks on. If you want to sign up for PrizePicks, links down in the description below. Use code Crushables and match your first deposit dollar for dollar up to $100. It's been a ton of fun, honestly. I'm having a lot of fun doing PrizePicks this year. I started with $50. I'm up to $104 at the moment, so feeling pretty good. Other than that, guys, I will let you guys sign up for PrizePicks if you want to. Let's get back to the video. So at the end of year number 1, surprisingly, we end up finishing up as 45-37, but the Western Conference was so close that we are the 8th seed playing team. I mean, the Western Conference race was just absolutely incredibly close. Yeah, so 45-37 gives us the 8th seed. Here were your player stats for the season. You had 30 from Devin Booker, 23 from Kevin Durant, and 22 from Bradley Beal, which is to be expected. You'd think these 3 guys up top would be leading the way, which they did. Eric Gordon with 11, and Nurkic with 10 and 9, and also a block as well. But we have to try to get into the playoffs from the plan, and we are going to beat the Mavericks to get in. So we are in the playoffs, which is all that matters at the end of the day. We can come out here and upset the Golden State Warriors. They actually want to start Nasir Little. If that's what they think is best, I'm down to go ahead and try it and see what happens. So Golden State in round 1, obviously this is a team that's not going to be taken lightly. Kevin Durant facing his former squad. Steph, Clay, Wiggins, Draymond, Kevon Looney, Chris Paul. Simulate current round against them. And we are going to win game 1, but they're going to win the rest. We can eliminate them round 1. If you're Matt Ishbia, these are not the results you paid for, so you're probably very, very disappointed. But as I told you guys in the very beginning, we are in the championship now window, so we got to make moves to upgrade the roster. So Clippers go on to beat the Cavaliers. So year number 1 does not go as planned. LeBron James trying to retire. I'm going to override that one time here, but let's go to the lottery. And this isn't going to matter for us too much. Apparently, we do have our pick in 2024. So we actually end up with pick number... What pick do we have? I don't even see it. 22. Pick number 22. Staff signing. I am going to keep Frank Vogel around. No need to change that. And then we'll go ahead and fill out this coaching staff with Goldman. And then if he'll say yes, then we'll go Forbes to be those two guys taking care of that. So that's taken care of. And now we go straight to draft night. So... to be honest with you, we could obviously add someone through the draft with that 22nd overall pick. It may not be a bad idea to add some youth to this team. Obviously, rookie scale contracts, as I told you guys in the past, and you guys should probably know by now, that those are going to be important in the future. Rookie scale contracts are going to be very important for CBA teams. So we'll also have a couple second round picks here as well. So I think we need to hit on these to see if we can get like a role player in this draft or not. So pick number 22, we have Mikey Williams, we have Kwame Evans, Deron Holmes, Caleb Foster. I don't know if I actually think Mac actually ends up being really good. 16 points, 8 rebounds. So I think getting him is actually really nice at this 18th overall pick, or 22nd, I should say. We have an early second as well. I'm going to go ahead and take Caleb Foster with this one. And then this other second round pick, we are going to take Trevin, who actually turns in to also being really good as well. So I actually feel solid about those 3 picks we just got in the draft. So Mac, Caleb, and Trevin, we're going to go and accept all of those. Player options, Josh Okoye declines, Drew Eubanks declines, Jop declines, Jordan Goodwin I'm actually going to accept, and then Damian Lee's the only one that accepts his contract. Udoka Azubuike is a free agent, not too concerned about him. And then free agency, I don't know if it gives me like bird rights on anybody, it does not. And we probably don't have a lot of money to sign someone, yeah. So we're, obviously a very high dollar team, so no big expenses here. So how are we going to upgrade this roster is the question. Obviously, D-Book, Bradley Beal, Damian Lee, or D-Book, or Bradley Beal are going to stay. Nasir at the 3. I don't hate it as a starting small forward, but obviously would love to upgrade it. I don't think I can count on Mac and Trevin playing this year. I'll probably send all 3 of the rookies we just got to the G League. I think our best way to try to get better is to trade Nurkic away for a better center. I think Nurkic is a decent fit with his Phoenix Suns team, but I don't think Nurkic is very loved in the simulation. So I'm going to see if I can trade Nurkic and maybe like Caleb Foster and see if that can get me anything out there for an upgrade at the center position. Didn't really see any trades that made sense for Nurkic. So what we're going to do is we're going to sign Gary Harris in free agency, bring him back. He's going to be obviously our shooting guard. If it gives us the ability to sign Grayson Allen back, I'm going to do that as well. So I'm going to sign Grayson Allen back. I'm going to lock him up for a couple of years. So we'll sign Grayson Allen. And then if I can get Eubanks back as well, I would go that route, but I don't know if it's going to let me. Unfortunately, it does not look like that's going to be the case. So we have like Montrezl Harrell or Norris Noel down here. I'm going to sign Noel as a 3rd string. Not my ideal center that I want, obviously, to be the guy, but it's slim pickings right now. I'll probably sign Robert Covington as well. He's probably going to go down in overall, but at this point, we just need bodies. So our bench is really depleted. Joe Harris was an option. But Goodwin, I think, should go up in overall as our backup point guard, hopefully. We got Gary Harris, Damian Lee now, and Grayson Allen, so we got a lot of options here. But we can slide someone down to the 3 if need be, or even make a trade, which is probably where we're going to have to do. Covington could be our backup 4, technically, and Noah could be our backup 5. Yeah, obviously not great. So I'm going to see, what can Damian Lee get me? If I trade Damian Lee in a second, maybe a couple seconds, if I can get like a cheap backup 5, I'll take it. I don't even know if that exists. Like Bruno Fernando's out there. We got what? Max Lewis, Clowney, Peyton Watson. I don't really see anybody doing that. Christian Coloco. It would have to be a center that someone is willing to sell on the low, and I just don't know if that exists, man. Right now, our center position isn't great. Nurkic is fine. Like Goga Badatse is, we got Omer. I mean, I could maybe count on him maybe going up in overall. So maybe we could go try to get Omer from Utah Jazz and see if we can get him as a throw-in. That would actually not be too terrible. So I'm gonna trade Damian Lee. Let's see if we can trade 1 second for Omer. They want a 1st. I'm not giving up a 1st for this situation. I'll give you another 2nd. They want a 1st round pick. Again, I'm not doing a 1st. I guess I'll also throw in, no, I'm not going to throw anything else. I guess we're just stuck with what we got. I'm not throwing anything else just to get Omer. So let's just see what player progression looks like. Free agency, not so great. Udoka's back, but for some reason we got a glitch now, but whatever. Player progression, Durant's down, of course, to be expected. Booker's down. Beal's down. Nasir Little is up. Gary Harris is down. Jordan Goodwin didn't go up as much as I would have wanted, than Saban Lee. So yeah, this roster is getting much worse. I think trade deadline, we're definitely going to have to stop and do something, because right now we don't have a good rotation. We just don't. Bench is not great. Signing Gary Harris was fine and all, but we're just not in a good spot right now. So we're going to go ahead and load a draft class, and let's just look at this rotation all together. deadline, it needs to be addressed. We definitely need to address the team. So let's go do that. So let's go see. We need to cut one player, I guess. So we're going to go ahead and cut Mr. Udoka Azubuike probably. So Udoka, thank you for your services. But now, look at the rotation. Power King lands us at 9th overall. I don't know if we did much to really upgrade the team necessarily, but it's Booker, Beal, Nasiri Little still, Durant, Nurkic, Gary Harris, Grayson Allen, Robert Covington, Saban Lee. So yeah, not a good team. What we're going to do, though, is we're going to send these 3 guys down to the G League. I'm going to actually kind of hope that we can get like something out of them next year. So we're going to send Mac and also Foster, or I think we might have to only do 2. So Trevin and Mac down to the G League. And then at the deadline, we'll try to make some moves to upgrade this bench, because right now it's not it. Now, I know Gary Harris can slide to the 3 and go up an overall. He's up to a 78. So I think we might as well do that, because we need as much depth as we can get. Although he's 6'4", wouldn't love him playing the 3. It's fine. We need it. So we're going to go ahead and do that. So Gary Harris will actually start the 3, which at this point, it's fine. Covington, Saban Lee as our bench. I will see you guys most likely at the deadline to try to address our bench, maybe even our starting small forward spot. So at the deadline, and man, is this a disaster right now. We are 17-33 on the season. We're not even close to being able to compete for a play-in spot. I mean, I guess we're 6 games back, so we could go on a run. Part of me wants to just blow this bad boy up. Another part of me is like, I mean, this is not what Matt Ashbia wanted. I don't think this team would be this bad. 2K is just kind of giving us that kind of simulation here. So I'm not really sure what direction to head in. I think we're still going to try to win. It may not be the best idea, but we're going to try to cook some things up here to try to upgrade our team. And one team I wanted to talk to in particular, because I know there's a center that actually might be able to turn this around for us and help us. He is actually on the Hawks. I want to see, we can talk to the Hawks about finding a small forward in Capella in a trade. I don't know if we can cook something up here, but that's kind of where I'm at. I'm going to see if I can, you know, Nurkic, Capella swap. And then let's say we have Nasir Little in here. And then, I mean, Jalen Johnson probably at this point is someone they're not willing to trade. I mean, I don't know if I can get to like Bogdan as my starting 3. I don't think that'd be too bad. Someone that might be willing to move. And Bogdan has a couple years on his contract. So, don't know if I can get to this. I actually might not have enough salary for this. Yeah, Bogdan makes too much money. So, Nasir Little, I mean, Jalen Johnson would be a dream. But at this point, I think it's kind of out of the realm of possibility we could get him. DeAndre Hunter, again, making too much money. So, I mean, Capella would just probably be someone we can get. That would be a massive upgrade. But let's say we did Nurkic for Capella, and we're willing to also throw in like a second or so. I don't know if they'd do this, but we need to try to save the season somehow. They agree. Capella is one of the easiest centers to get. So, the Hawks move on from Capella, take Nurkic as their backup 5 going forward. Let's say Capella was causing problems in the lock. I don't know. Just trying to come up with something. I'm hoping that changes things here. I feel like Nurkic is someone 2K doesn't love very much. I don't know if Capella is going to save our season by any means. But we needed to try something. And now I'm going to see if I can upgrade from Nasir Little or not. We're also going to be trading Nasir Little and Caleb Foster over to the Clippers to get Ivica Zubac. So let's say the Clippers want to go a little bit younger here. They get Nasir Little in this trade. Zubac is our brand new backup 5. I don't know if that's going to change anything, but I know centers, as I've told you guys in the past, are loved in 2K. So we've gotten Capella and Zubac at the deadline. Does that change our dynamic on this season? Most likely it doesn't, but we're just trying our best to try to turn this season around. If we can get like into the play-in, I think I'd be happy with that. I think as long as we get there, we should have a chance. But if this team doesn't start turning things around soon, we might have to blow it up sooner than I thought. I don't even know if this is really going to save our season at all, but these are the 2 moves we've made. And I don't love them by any means, but we are limited to what assets we have currently. Capella, Zubac, welcome to the team. We'll see if that gets us on a run to the play-in or not. So at the end of the season, as I expected, making that trade, those couple moves to get new centers in the building, changed things dramatically. We went on a huge run and gave ourselves a 500 record at 41-41. Like, really surprising. We got in the play-in. Obviously, we were dead to rights, at the deadline, and I didn't want to give up. I could have, but I had a feeling if I moved Nurkic, this team would just do much better. There's just some players in 2K that just don't lead to success. Like DeMar DeRozan, I've noticed in the past, like when I've had him on the team, you just immediately lose a lot, and that's no knock against DeRozan. I've just noticed that. Nurkic is another one. I can think of like probably some other examples at the top of my head, but even Karl-Anthony Towns is another one I've noticed sometimes when I brought him on. Like I think I did a Knicks rebuild one time, and I brought him onto the team, and the team just started losing immediately. So like things like that just happen. Like it just works that way. So. But I'm feeling good. The fact that we went on that 17, we were 17-33, dead to the waters. We went on a run, and we're here now. Now, obviously, we got to beat our familiar foe, the Mavericks, to get in. and we do lose the first one, so that's not great. Now got to play the Houston Rockets. So obviously, it's great that we got this far, but we didn't come this far just to lose in the play-in. Well, hopefully not anyway. So let's see if we can win this game against the Rockets, who obviously the Rockets only get better and better as you keep going, because the younger they are, the better they get. And the Rockets, you know, they have a good young core, but we are going to beat them. So we do get into the playoffs. This is huge. We get the Denver Nuggets in round 1. So obviously, KCP, Jamal Murray, Christian Brown, Aaron Gordon, we're very familiar with this Nuggets team. They actually want to start Brown over Michael Porter. Very interesting. So here goes nothing. We've gotten this far. Does that mean we go on a run now? Somebody current round, and we are going to beat the Nuggets in round 1. So yeah, trading Nurkic changed the whole dynamic of this team. And we could probably upgrade this roster even further in the offseason, but we do run into the Blazers, which, as I'm recording this, Rob Williams just announced out for the season. And Miami fans are going crazy about Portland on Twitter about how stupid we are. But it's just I guess there's going to be a forever rivalry between Portland and Miami. Regardless, not the point of the video. Somebody come around against them, and we are going to go to a Game 7 with the Blazers to see if we can get to the conference final. So let's see if we can come out here and beat the Portland Trail Blazers. We got a close one on our hands. We have the lead. If we can keep it, we're going to the conference finals, which is something Matt Ishbia, you know, obviously paid for, and we did just that. And we're in the conference finals, and now we get the chance to potentially get to the NBA finals from an 8th seed play-in spot. So here we go. Golden State Warriors, they beat us last year. Let's see if we can beat them this time around. Similar current round against the Warriors. We're down 3-1. And just like that, Steph and the Warriors might have our number. We may not be able to beat them. They may be the team that just stumps us from ever winning a championship, and they're going to blow us out in this Game 5, it looks like, unless we come back in the end, which we do not. So, back-to-back years where the Warriors eliminated us. Stephen Curry and the Warriors, they go on to lose to the Celtics, though. Okay, I think I give this one more season to try to go out there and contend for a championship. So, let's see if we can put together a roster that's able to do that. I'm going to give this one more season. So, Atlanta via Spurs. Wow, Spurs have 1 and 3. That's pretty insane to think about. So, they get Cooper Flag and whatever they want at 3. I do want to keep Frank Vogel around. I'm not, like, necessarily thinking this is all his. Actually, he's going to reject us. He does not want to come back. He wants no part of coming back to this team. So, we might have to sign Will Hardy and call it a day, which I don't hate. He's the best real coach we have left, it looked like. So, I'm cool with that. So Will Hardy will be our new head coach. And then now we got to find a wing whisperer. And then we got to find a way to upgrade our bench even further. And maybe in our small forward spot, obviously I don't love that Gary Harris is our starting 3, but it's just kind of what we had to deal with. So let's go straight to draft night. And actually, those guys we send to the G League might be really good this season. So that could actually come in handy. And we'll see what else we can do. So let's get straight to player options. We're not adding any rookies this year. Trevin, we're going to go ahead and, of course, accept that. Saban Lee is a free agent, and then as far as other free agents are concerned, bird rights on Clint Capella, which no-brainer here. We got to bring him back. So Capella signed to a 4-year deal. If nothing else, you can move him in the future, but he's going to be locked in with what we have currently. And now we're able to sign whatever else we want. Okay, so we have Booker and Goodwin. I actually extended Goodwin because he wanted a really cheap contract, and I'm kind of hoping he continues to go up in overall. But if he doesn't, it's a contracting trade down the line, no big deal. Grayson Allen, Bradley Beal, I'm cool with that. Shooting guard rotation. Gary Harris is our starting 3. Again, don't love that. Kevin Durant, Trevin, and Mac. I actually think one of these guys could slide to the 3, so we might do that with Mac. We have Capella and Zubac. So I'm actually going to go ahead and slide McKenzie, which he actually goes up, which is fantastic, over to small forward. His backup position could be power forward. So might have to roll with Mac being the starting 3 this year, maybe, potentially. And I think we might just sign a point guard in free agency. So let's sign. We can sign Alvarado, who obviously is a decent backup point guard. So that might be our only move in free agency, which doesn't feel great, but the other move is letting these guys develop, which is kind of what we're hoping for and seeing if it works. Now, we do have a problem because I believe Kevin Durant's on a 1-year contract. I believe he has 1 year left in his deal. So does Beal, which he has a player option, though, so I feel like he's probably going to accept that. Durant, on the other hand, no player option. So it'll be interesting to see what we decide at the deadline. Do we trade Kevin Durant at the deadline, or do we just try to play it out? He's 36 years old, so extending him may be a little tough. But progression, you do have Mac up to 77, so that's really good. So he'll be our starting 3 this year, most likely. Gary Harris is still fine. Booker's still great. Durant, Beal, and then Trevin. So not too bad. The bench is going to be a little bit better. I think with those young guys coming out of the G League, they're ready to play right away. So they might be the saving grace of this whole thing. Now we're going into season 3 and kind of hoping that we can win a championship with this core that we have with Beal, Durant, and Booker. If it doesn't work out, I think we cut ties. I think we just have to cut ties with all of them and call it a day because it just didn't work. But we got to the conference finals last year, which was great. But now we got to figure out at the deadline if it's worth keeping this team. Proficiency 4-star with Will Hardy now, obviously. We're going to run 9 rotations. Booker, Beal, Gary Harris is still starting. That's fine, I guess. Durant, Zubac, Capella, Mac, Alvarado, Saban Lee. I actually want to give Trevin these last minutes here. We're going to do that. So Trevin will play these last few minutes. I will see you guys probably at the end of year 3. I don't want to stop at the deadline, but if we're bad, I might have to really think about what I'm going to do with Kevin Durant. So once again, we finish up in the play-in. Once again, it's been happening every single time. 47-35 this season. Very competitive West throughout the video so far. Here are your player stats. So we were over 500 to the deadline. I decided against trading Kevin Durant. Now, his status at the deadline was test free agency, so I couldn't even extend him even if I wanted to. I don't even know if I would have, if not. I'm hoping this is what happens. I'm hoping we get the championship this year, and then we reset things. I think that's what we kind of have to do. I can see Durant maybe go to, I don't know if this would ever happen, but what if Durant went back to OKC to retire there? I don't know if that would be the case or not. I'm just spitballing. Maybe 3 years from now, he'd be open to that. Or maybe he just retires after maybe the Suns win a championship. I don't know. Bradley Beal averaged 22. He was willing to resign, but I think what I want to do with Bradley Beal is I'm hoping he accepts his player option, and we trade him for what we can get, and then we reset around Devin Booker. We also could trade Devin Booker technically and just reset this whole thing, but obviously our sights are set are trying to win a championship right now, which we do get in. So we get into the play. Guess we get to run into the Warriors, man. The Warriors have had our number. Now let's see if we can maybe take them down here. So here goes nothing. Golden State Warriors, round 1. They beat us the back-to-back years now. This is the 3rd year. Can 3rd time be a charm to take down the Warriors here? Somebody current round, and we are going to beat them this time. So we finally got revenge against the Warriors, and man, how beautiful would it be if we can win a championship this year and just reset things after this. So Denver in round 2, we beat them last year, and we're gonna able to do it again. Let's go. And now we get the 8-seeded Pelicans. Obviously the Pelicans are never no slouch, so not saying this is a for sure win for us, but it would be great if we can get to the finals here and get the Suns a championship. And we are gonna sweep the Pelicans, which is absolutely beautiful. And now get the Celtics. And Frank Vogel actually went to Boston, so he went to go coach the Boston Celtics, so we get to play our former head coach and Frank Vogel, as you can see. And now it's time to see if we can beat them. So game 1 goes to Boston. We even it up. Game 3, 2-1. Game 4, 3-1. And game 5, we are going to win a championship before Kevin Durant enters free agency. That is beautiful. So Devin Booker, Finals MVP. We did get a championship in the 3rd season. I almost gave up. We got one with this core. Matt Ishbia obviously went all in, and it worked out, at least here in 2K in this hypothetical land. So now it's time to see what we're going to do next, because obviously a new chapter is about to start. We got that taken care of, which is fantastic, but we got a lot more work to do. That's the beauty of a 10-year rebuild. Once another door closes, another one opens, as they say. We have the 30th overall pick in this draft, and I don't think we have anybody else's pick, unfortunately. So let's go to staff signing. We're going to keep Will Hardy. We just won a championship with him. Obviously, no need to move on from that guy. We're going to go ahead and hire Mr. Tom Adams to be our assistant, and then we're going to leave the rest the same, other than let's go get our guard guru. And then what are we going to do with this offseason? I'm curious to see what Bradley Beal is going to decide, if he's going to accept that option or not. And do we trade Devin Booker? I mean, it would be kind of weird right after championship if we just reset things, but we're kind of in that status where maybe we should. 30th overall pick, obviously adding a rookie saved us in that first season. Getting Mac, I think, was huge. So we're going to go ahead and see if we can hit on another late pick here. So we're going to have Joey Mayo. I know nothing about him. We also have Dante Stevens, 89% scouted. Don't know anything about these guys at the bottom. Don't know if they're... He has got ceiling All-NBA and floor being a G League. So we'll take our chance with Dante Stevens out of Michigan. No idea how good he is. He is a 62 overall. So I have a feeling we did not get our money's worth with this guy, but I'll sign him anyway. Player options, Bradley Beal does accept. Okay. Mac, of course, are going to accept that. And then qualifying offers. Trevin is someone I do have interest in bringing back. And of course, the man of the hour is Kevin Durant. He's got offers from the Warriors. Actually, I think it would be beautiful if Durant, signed, went back to the Warriors. I'm not going to resign Durant. He's 37 years old. We're going to let him go. We got our championship with him. He goes somewhere else. And I can see Durant obviously going to another team anyway. So we're going to go ahead and send him off somewhere else. And we're going to reset around Booker. So now it's time to see what we can get for Bradley Beal, because I'm not keeping Bradley Beal and Booker together. In fact, we're going to move Booker back to the 2 where he belongs. And now it's time to see what Bradley Beal can get us. So we're talking about this trade with the Orlando Magic, where we send Beal and Zubac over to the Magic for Suggs, Aaron Bradshaw, and Amaris. We get 2 young players and Jalen Suggs, who could be the point guard next to Booker for the future. And then maybe Jalen Suggs could obviously be our starting point guard. Someone I don't get all that often ever. They do want my 2029 first, though, which is what I have a problem with. I don't hate the idea of trading Zubac. I'm going throwing Stevens in here, but they can't do it. So obviously I was trying to get Bradshaw. I was trying to do this, and they said no. Actually, it was originally this, and they countered with this. We have to trade Mac. I actually like the idea of keeping Mac. I mean, I guess I would be willing to trade or get a first-round pick, and I'll give you Alvarado maybe. They want Mac. They'll give me Dante. I don't want to trade Mac, but I will give you Goodwin. What about Jordan Goodwin? Let's say we did this. What do you say? They don't agree to that. I'll take out the second. Suggs, Bradshaw. Ah, man. I don't know if I want to do this just for... I mean, the original trade was Suggs for Beal, and Bradley Beal is 33 at this point. He's on a one-year deal. His contract's really bad. I guess if we just got... I mean, we got like this offer too, but I don't want to trade Mac. I actually want to keep him as a role player. But yeah, the offers aren't great. They're nothing special. We can also... this was one of my favorite ones as well. Edwards and Olink, not bad. Collins, Suggs. And then we also had this one, which I didn't hate, which I actually don't even see anymore. There was another one, but not even popping up. So, Desmond Bane, also really interesting. 20 points per game, Desmond Bane, but he plays similar position to Booker. So, I think we're going to just do this Suggs for Bradley Beal straight up. I would obviously love to get a first if possible, but I don't think that's going to happen, but we'll try it anyway. They want a pick swap. I will, let's say we did a 20-30 first, and we call it a day here. Let's say, what do you say to that? They want... We'll do it. 20-30 unprotected Magic pick. We'll get Bradley Beal out of here. And now we have Jalen Suggs as our point guard next to Booker. He does go down, which I thought he'd go up and move to point guard, but it's all good. Suggs will be the point guard. Booker will be the 2. But obviously, we still have more work to do because we're far from set at all. We have Capella and Zubac still as our center rotation. We have Alvarado still. Goodwin. We could probably move one of them to the 2, and maybe we can get away with it. I don't know if Goodwin would go up at the 2. If he does, that'd be a blessing, but he doesn't. But let's see what else we can do. So we actually have cap space now that we made that trade with Beal. That actually could work out in our favor, which is nice. So now we need to figure out what we're going to do, which is probably sign a power forward or a small forward. So power forward options, we have like Maria Chimura, Dorian Finney-Smith, Peyton Watson, Jarris or Jabari Walker. And then we have like, Zach Collins, Isaiah Jackson, those guys. Small forward, Ochai Agbaji really stood out to me. 26 years old. I actually think he could be a really good fit. I don't know. I actually don't know if the Jazz are going to match this, but I'm going to go ahead and throw them an offer anyway. Let's see what they say to this. And it looks like we actually have some cap space left over, which is actually cool. I'm cool with getting Peyton Watson as well, which would be really nice to get both these guys in free agency. 2 perfect role players. The problem with this is, though, I think this makes us competitive, but I don't know if this is enough to like be ecstatic about what our status is going forward. So I don't have to renounce Trevin, which is beautiful, but I'm willing to renounce everything else, which I'm going to sign. Oh, it did not give me the opportunity to sign whatever. So renouncing Durant rights, as I told you guys, I wanted Peyton Watson, but he might be gone now. Or I guess we don't have enough money now. That's kind of weird. I don't know what happened, but Agbaji is a nice addition, which I love. And then Trevin might have to be our starting power forward this year. This team is probably going to be just mid at this point. Durant decides to leave us for someone else. That's the narrative we're going with. We don't have bird rights for Trevin, but he will be our starting power forward most likely. And then power forward or whatever else we can sign isn't great by any means. Hamdou Diallo is an option. We have Mac at this point. We could slide him back to the 4 if we wanted to do that. I guess we sign Hamdou Diallo to be our backup 3. And actually, I mean, it says we have cap space, but whatever. So Hamdou Diallo, I actually didn't even submit that offer, did I? So I'm gonna sign Hamdou Diallo to a 2-year deal. And then we'll just wait for Trevin at this point. Durant is actually still out here. We can still sign Kevin Durant back technically. I mean, he still is sitting here. And maybe we just bring back Durant. I mean, we made the team, I think, interesting. If we bring back Durant, I'll do it. Why not? Let's bring back Kevin Durant. I mean, he's here. He's still sitting here. 2-year deal. 37 years old. We signed him through his retirement. We'll keep him. I mean, might as well. He's still here. I thought he'd be gone. But now we have an interesting roster. So no Bradley Beal anymore. I think the depth got better. So with no Beal, I'm curious to see how this is going to go. Trevin also back. Durant's down, which was to be expected. Suggs is also down, but we moved his position. We got Trevin up to a 77, which is beautiful. Good win. This will be interesting. I actually kind of like our roster. I did not expect Durant to be coming back. But now that we got him back, we might be able to go win a championship next year still. So I was maybe expecting a reset. But now we can actually kind of maximize Booker's window with Durant for 2 more years. And then probably move on from Booker when the time is right, which is going to suck because obviously Booker has been with the Suns his whole career. But, all good things must come to an end, unfortunately, which is just going to happen. So I'll load this draft class in a second. But let's look at this rotation all together. That way we're kind of on the same page of what we're about to look at. Power Rankings 13th overall. Proficiency is up to a 4.5, which is great. So rotationally, we got a lot better. 8-man rotation is not necessary just yet. Suggs, Booker, Baji, Durant, Zubac, Capella, Mac, Trevin, and Hamdi Diallo. Actually, beautiful team. So I will see you guys at the end of this season. We'll see how things go. We maximize Booker's window for another couple years. Let's see if we can stack up 2 more championships. It's actually beautiful how things change when you round out your roster. For the first time, we're not actually in the play-in. We finished up as the 2nd seed in the Western Conference. So rotationally, obviously a lot more well-rounded, and it led to better results in the regular season. 31 from Booker, 24 from Durant, 17 from Jalen Suggs, 10 from Ochai Agbaji, 10, 9, 8, 7, and 6. Absolutely beautiful. Now let's go see if we can win a championship. Another one that'd be absolutely amazing. So that rotation is going to stay the same. Utah in round 1. They got Brogdon, Franz Wagner now with Markkanen. Interesting. And DeAndre Ayton. Wow. 2 Blazers now on the Utah Jazz. Let's see how this goes. Somebody current round against Utah. And we're going to beat them in 7. Close one, but we do take care of them. And now we get the San Antonio Spurs. We have Collier, Vassell, Cooper. Wow, man. They hit on that 2020. They hit on both their draft picks. Cooper Flag, Vassell, Collier, Victor Wembanyama, Florin. They have a great squad. And Kyrie Irving's on this team. I don't know if I love our chances of winning this series. We'll see how it goes, though. Somebody current round against the Spurs, and yeah, we're going to get swept. I had a feeling that was going to happen, so really unfortunate stuff there. You got San Antonio and Denver, and you got the Nuggets actually beat them. Wow. They have Murray, Gary Trent, Porter, Cam Thomas. I saw he got an overall upgrade, so that's interesting. There were some upgrades in the overalls for 2K. But let's see who wins the championship. Celtics, Nuggets. Celtics always seem to be there. The Nuggets go on to beat them in 7. So Nuggets are back on top. Retirements. Durant is trying to retire. Interesting. I think we go ahead and try to trade Durant away. I think we trade Durant. Maybe we just blow this thing up. I mean, maybe it's that time. I don't know if it is currently or not. I really have to kind of just look in the mirror and reflect. So Jazz are going to have 2 top 5 picks. So they're going to get even better than that roster they had. That was a really nice roster that they had going. And then our pick is going to go to the Brooklyn Nets. So staff signing, we are going to have Will Hardy still here. And then we got to fill this out. And then I got to figure out what is best for this franchise going forward. Is it time to just kind of reset things here? Or should we continue to go forward with this Devin Booker Durant dynamic? So we're actually going to roll with Durant and Booker for 1 more year. I just don't think the trades out there are very realistic. And yeah, some of the trades I could have cooked up for a 38-year-old Kevin Durant were really sweet. I could have gotten like Shaden Sharp. But it just feels like, why is someone trading like a young star like that for Kevin Durant? I just don't think it makes any sense. So we're just going to try to win a championship 1 more year with these guys. Obviously, that San Antonio roster was really freaking good. But we'll try to cook up this offseason and see what we can do. So free agency time. I think it is time to extend Trevin. I wanted to keep him for the foreseeable future. We're going to go ahead, take care of that. We can finally sign him long-term, which is great. So he is locked up long-term. And now it's time. I mean, it'd be beautiful if we could sign like Damian Lillard to a cheap contract. I remember in old 2Ks that guys would sign for like $5 million and you'd love that, but I don't see that anymore. It really sucks. That'd be cool if we can lock up Dame here with this team. But Suggs, Booker, we got obviously forwards for days, it looks like now. So I think we just need to sign a backup point guard or a backup guard in general and be fine with it. So Grayson Allen, of course, played here. Leandro Balmero is out here, 26 years old. He might go up, who knows. So sign me Leandro Balmero and we'll call it a day. It's not beautiful, but it's not. Actually, you know what? Let's wait till day 12 to see if anybody is willing to maybe take a cheap contract and get somebody better. I don't know if that's going to happen, but we'll give it a shot. We got 1 more year with these guys anyway. And then Booker and Durant can enter free agency. Obviously, I could trade them right now and set ourselves up beautifully, but it just doesn't feel very realistic in my personal opinion. We signed Dinwiddie. He's up to a 79 overall, but he's 34. We have Book Knight here as well, interestingly enough. So guys there's new names that have popped up. Saban Lee. Give me Dinwiddie. Why not? We'll sign Dinwiddie to a 1-year deal. He might regress like crazy. We'll take our chances. He only goes down to a 77, so it's not bad. If I move to point guard, does he go up in overall? He might. He stays the same. I'm moving to point guard. We'll see how the season goes. So we got technically 1 more season with Durant and Booker. It might give me the option to extend Booker, and I might be willing to do it. Durant obviously tried to retire this offseason, so we'll just, obviously play it by ear. He might retire next offseason, and then he's gone for sure. But other than that, I will see you guys in what year is this? Gonna be 2028, right? So yeah, let's go into the 2028 draft class. Devin Booker actually wins MVP in his contract season. So, I mean, the man is only 31 years old. So, we actually could just keep building around him probably for the rest of the video. I mean, some guys obviously age well till they're like 35 or whatever, 36. So, we could just build around Devin Booker and keep going forward with that, which we might end up doing. We'll see. But he also wins Clutch Player of the Year, which is great. So, makes it all be first team. Durant, not sure, does not make a team. But we are the second seed in the Western Conference, which is great. 58 and 24 in the season. Durant with 24. This might be his last season before he calls it a career. So it would be beautiful. We can win another championship here. We get New Orleans in round one. We have Juan, Herb Jones, Ingram, Zion, and Kyle, and Benedict Mathurin. I saw that. Someone current round against New Orleans, and they are going to give us a run for their money, but we do beat them in 6. And now it's time to play the Memphis Grizzlies, who have Bain, Zaire Williams, Jonathan Kuminga, Rubin, Anthony Black, Marcus Smart, Tyler Smith. We come around against them, and we are going to beat them in 5. And now we get the Houston Rockets. The Rockets offered me both Jalen Green and Şengün for Booker. I guess it would have been interesting for them to go for that, but I don't know, man. Or for Durant, I think. I actually think they offered that for Durant, which would be kind of wild for them. But let's see if we get to the final. So, my current round, and we are going to lose in 6 to the Houston Rockets. We got Asar versus Amon, really cool, and the Rockets going to win the championship. Amon Thompson, Finals MVP. Does Durant retire? He sure does. No overriding this time, so Durant's gone. Dinwiddie's gone as well. He retired. We made it to the conference finals, but unfortunately could not, win a championship to end their careers. But draft lottery time. I don't think we have, obviously a lottery pick from anybody at this point. We haven't really made any trades to get to that. But Magic have our pick this year. As far as staff signing is concerned, we have Will Hardy, of course. And then we need to fill out these positions. So I'm going to go Goldman and then hit what she's been here, I believe, anyway. And we'll just keep these guys around. So we'll go Kelly, sign those 2 guys. Kelly says no at first, but we'll revisit that. And then we got to figure out how are we going to proceed with this team. What are we going to do? Is Booker someone we're going to prioritize in re-signing, or are we going to move forward with a different direction, trade Booker, or not trade him because obviously he's a free agent, and we're just going to move on from Booker entirely. So rookie signing, we had a couple of second rounders, not really worried about either of them. Stevens, I did obviously draft him. He's not great at all, but whatever. Welcome to team. Mac will continue to want to bring back. Be interested how much he asked for. Oh, I thought that was Mac asking for $63 million. I'm like, okay, we're screwed. I was about to say there's no way. $19 million from Zubac, $13 million, and then $2 million. So Booker is getting offers from the Pelicans. I mean, I think we keep Booker. I think we sign up for the foreseeable future. 5-year deal. He could stick around until he's 36 years old or 37. We can sign him for his career. Stays in Phoenix for his career. And he is going to actually think about the other offers over ours. So maybe we'll be forced to move on from Booker if we can't convince him to come back. We'll see if we can. So, Book, let's try this again. Maybe I have to go all in, which I wanted to not have to go all in to keep as much cap space open as possible. But if I want to get him back, I might have to offer the max. So, let's see if he decides to take that. We could also throw this max money at somebody else. So, we have his offer now. But Evan Mobley's a free agent. We could throw money at Garland, AD, Collier. But I think we prioritize keeping Devin Booker around. I'm going to try to keep Mac around as well. So let's make sure we resign him. So we'll resign McKenzie back. And then we're going to be probably not going to have enough money after this to do anything else. So sign Mac and Booker. And does that give me money to do much of anything else? We have the ability to sign like a Jeremy Grant. We could bring Zubac back still. But not a lot of money. Suggs, Booker, Ochai Agbaji, Mac. And then Trevin is the new power forward. And we still have Capella, and then we don't have a bench. So bench is going to be brutal, but I think we signed Zubac back. I think we kind of have to. If nothing else, it's a tradable contract down the line. Anthony Melton would be actually a beautiful addition to this team. Terrence Mann is being offered to, or someone we can maybe get. Melton's going to go to the Hawks. Do we get Terrence Mann maybe? We do get Terrence Mann, and that might be all we can really do. Jonathan Isaac is here. We got Chumo Kiki. We have Trevin, though. Derek Jones. Saban Lee might be a guy who played here that we can bring back. So, how do we proceed on making this team better? Because I don't know if I can sit here and say this is a contender. I don't know if we have a star outside of Devin Booker at the moment. We have Capella's contract. We have Zubac we just brought back. Maybe we try Capella's contract and Stevens and see what that can get me on the open market. So I tried to make a little bit of a trade really quickly, but obviously didn't see much of anything. So what we're going to do is we're just going to go into this next season with the roster we have currently, and we are going to check out trades at the deadline for like maybe Suggs contract. Maybe we could use a bunch of different things. We have more draft picks opened up now, obviously. We're getting in the later years of this rebuild. No more Durant. Booker is going to be an addition to the team for the next, 5 years. So we're going to keep him around. He's not going to be someone we're willing to trade away. At this point, I don't think we need to load draft classes anymore. we're not going to be in that mold. We're not ever going to be tanking. It is time to go continue to stack up championships if possible. Right now, I don't feel we're a contender. I think we got to make an upgrade at the deadline to surround Booker with more talent. And we have a solid team, but it's not good enough at this point. So I will see you guys at the deadline, hopefully to make another big move to continue to maximize Booker's window. Originally had my eyes set on Nikola Jokic from the Denver Nuggets, but he's impossible to get, unfortunately. Instead, we're going to try for Evan Mobley, who's now on the Orlando Magic. 15 points, 10 rebounds, absolute monster stud defensively. I think having him next to Booker for the foreseeable future could help us go win some championships. So I'm offering a lot here to get Mobley, but I'm off for this. They are going to disagree to the trade, though. So Mobley is someone I'm not going to be able to get, it looks like, unless if I'm going to throw in somebody else, but I don't know if we have anybody better. I could throw in a Baji instead, and that's not going to make it any different. I'm on Mobley. But we'll do the same offer for Paulo Banchero, and they're going to agree to that. So not getting Mobley, but we'll get Paulo Banchero instead. Now, that does leave us without a center, so I probably should have traded something else. But whatever. I was, too set on trying to get somebody from Orlando. So now we have Paulo Banchero, who I think could be a guy next to Devin Booker for the foreseeable future as that second star. Trevin's now the starting center, which obviously is not ideal, and our bench rotation got much worse with the depth that we just traded away. So, Ochai Abaji's gone, but now it's time to figure out how we can get a center on this team. So, we're going to trade Terrence Mann, Saban Lee, and see if we can get a starting 5 on the roster. So, I've seen Nick Richards as an option, Brandon Clark, Trey Lyles, Isaiah Hardenstein. There's some options here that we can go with, but I was trying... Ooh, Florin from the Spurs, 6 points, 6 rebounds, and a block. You know what? Sign me up. We'll go ahead and take Florin here, and that will be our starting 5. So now our starting 5 is great. Bench, obviously, is really, really pathetic now. But that's kind of the territory you take once you trade for a guy like Paulo Banchero at the deadline. So I wanted Mobley. I wanted Jokic. Did not work out. Paulo Banchero's locked up for 3 more years. So we pretty much have our core. Wow, 5 years, $375 million is crazy to look at. But we pretty much have our core. Jalen Suggs, I'm curious to see if he's willing to sign an extension already. Obviously, we have those two reunited, but he's going to test free agency before he's willing to talk about that. So, obviously, bench is going to be a priority in the offseason. So, 15th in the Western Conference with our new star duo. You had 34 points from Booker, 22 from Paulo, Suggs, 17, Trevin with 9, and 9 from Max. So, let's go ahead and see how this playoffs are going to go. Obviously, bench is really unbearable right now, but, we'll just see if we can find a way to get by, and then in the offseason, we can focus on upgrade the bench, upgrading just everything we need to. But yeah, we're going to eliminate it here. Obviously, when you go all in on a star, I think I may have traded a little too much for Paulo. I was focused on Mobley, and then I just kind of did the same trade for Paulo, and it worked out. But Stephen Curry's retiring a Laker, which is weird, and then Kyrie's retiring a Warrior. Tobias Harris also a Warrior, but lottery time, again, it's not going to matter for us. We went all in on another trade, but we're getting down to the wire. So I would love, obviously, to bring in another championship here before everything is all said and done. We'll just bring Will Hardy back, and let's just go straight to player options. So player options is going to be a huge offseason to upgrade our rotation. Stevens and Carl, we're going to need as many contracts as we can to trade away. Florin, someone I do want to bring back probably. And then free agency, we have Jalen Suggs as a free agent, which is going to be important. And we have Florin. So we're going to go ahead and re-sign Jalen Suggs. No brainer there. I mean, he's our starting point guard at the moment. So might as well just take care of that up top. So Suggs is going to be our point guard with Booker and Paulo. And we actually have money to sign someone else, which is great. So we can sign like PJ Washington, or we'll figure out. So we have Jalen Suggs, we have Devin Booker, we have Mac, we have Paulo, Trevin. We don't have a center. So I think center obviously is the priority here. It could just be Florin and we roll with that, which actually might have to at this moment. Nasir Little, Kevin Huerter, I think off the bench would actually be a really good get. I actually kind of like the idea of that. So we're going to sign Kevin Huerter to be our backup 2. He's 30 years old, but I think he'd actually be a really good sniper off the bench for us. So I'll take that. And then we'll just focus on bringing Florin back at this point. And then we need to upgrade the bench with probably trades left over. Peyton Pritchard, we'll give him a minimum contract. Maybe he can be our point guard. And then maybe we can get away with moving like one of these shooting guards, a small forward. Like Nickel Alexander-Walker, we might be able to just get away with that. So I'll sign him. And then it's time to try to trade these guys. So Stevens and Jameson, guys we drafted. I'll throw a 2032 pick in there. And this should be, yeah, it's not getting me anything great at the moment. But what do we need the most? Let me see if I can cook up something. So we have backup point guard Pritchard. We have backup 2 now and Huerter. But we can move somebody to 3 and be fine. So Huerter is what? 6'7". So let's slide him down to the 3. And we'll have him play backup 3. So he'll be backup, secondary position shooting guard. But I still like the addition of that. Alexander Walker. So at this point, probably need to get a backup 5. A backup 5 is probably the most ideal thing we need. So let's just get out of free agency. I'll look at day 12 just in case there is a center there, though, just to be on the safe side. So day 12, not there yet. We're going to renounce Trace Jackson. Actually, I won't renounce him, but centers maybe left over. Tillman, actually, or Paul Reed, or B-Ball Paul. Actually, can't be mad at one of these guys, so we'll just sign B-Ball Paul, and now we don't have to make any trades. So, progression, we have Booker, we have Trevin down, or Florin's up, Herter's up, Max. So, obviously, we kind of have a couple role players, but Booker and Boncaro are the guys leading us, hopefully, to one more championship in this video. We have a few years left in this rebuild. We've rounded the rotation now. We have our 2 stars. I mean, do we need a 3rd star? Hopefully not. Suggs can be just kind of that 3rd guy we rely on sometimes. Herter's now the new starting small forward, I guess, which is fine. Mac will hit the bench, and then aim rotation looks good. So, I'll see you guys at the end of the season. We'll see how things go. And hopefully, we're back to a contender in the West. We are going to go ahead and make one more trade for a 3rd star. We're going to be trading Florin, Dante Stevens, and a 1st-round pick for Desmond Bane, and also getting Tillman as the throw-in. Now, this is going to really hurt our bench. I'm not gonna lie, our center position, or actually starting 5 spot, but B-Ball Paul could go there, or I guess currently they have Tillman, but I think Bane as a 3rd star with Suggs, Booker, Bane, Boncaro, that sets us up really nicely. And maybe we have to make another trade to get a new center. I don't know if we'll be able to do that at the, with this money we have thrown, but if we throw these 3 guys together, I don't know if that can give me like a 5 anywhere. It doesn't work out so far. So Tillman and Paul Reed, I'm just trying to get a 5, and then we kind of have our, rotation set. So I get Isaiah Mobley. I wish I was Evan Mobley, but obviously that's a dream. Jericho Sims, Kenneth Lofton, Melton. We're starting to cook up maybe. Zach Edey, Marvin Bagley. I mean, Marvin Bagley. We trade another 1st-round pick. We go all in. Matt Ishbia style. Marvin Bagley be our starting 5 for the rest of the video. You know what? We need someone there. We'll do it. We'll trade another 1st to get a Kogi who used to be here. Now we have Bagley as our 5. So, bench still isn't bad. 8-man rotation. It looks solid. We got Desmond Bane now on this team. We'll see how the rest of the season goes. I'll slide Herter back to the 2 now as well. He'll probably go down, but it's fine. So he'll be back to the 2 spot, and we're ready to go for the rest of the season. Bane's our brand new addition. Let's go see if we can win him one more championship. So 5th seed in the Western Conference this year. We have a couple more years left after this one. So let's just go ahead and get straight into things. We're just hoping this gets us one more championship, and I'll be happy. If we can get one more with Devin Booker, I'd feel great about that. Utah, of course, has a solid team. Christopher Baker, whoever this is, up to 89 overall. So somebody current round against Utah, and we are going to beat them in 5W. Now I get the Spurs, who obviously looked amazing earlier. So Cooper Flag, Victor Wembanyama, Nikola, Jeremy Sohan, AJ Griffin, and then Oleg as well. That's a crazy name. But somebody come around against San Antonio, and they are going to sweep us. So we might have a problem. We may not be able to win one more in this video. You have the Thunder and the Pistons. So I think, like I said, we got 1 or 2 more years left of this video. So let's go straight to the lottery. We got Nets, Bucks, Nuggets. This is not going to matter for us too much. I don't know if there's going to be a way to upgrade our roster any further. We've kind of went all in on everything almost. We got Desmond Bane now. I mean, we'll see if there's one more ginormous move we can make this offseason. If I can do it, I will, obviously. But it's going to be really tough. Assets are limited and contracts are limited. And we'll just we'll see what free agency offers us. We might be able to get some. We might be able to cook up a little something. But we got the coaching staff completely filled out. Rest of the video is set. We're going to go straight to player options. I don't even care what 2K drafts me at this point. So we have Jameson and Stevie Cross. Not worried about any of these guys. And then Carl Person. I'm not worried about him. Free agency, though. We got Luka. Victor Wembanyama could leave the Spurs. And he might go to the Wizards. So that actually could be huge if he goes to Washington. He's out of our conference. And then we have money to sign a Nick Richards, for instance. Which we actually might need him as a backup 5. Because we keep trading for guys and not having a center. So center is obviously one of the more important positions. And Bagley was our starting 5 last year, which isn't ideal. And looks like he's in free agency, so we might be able to bring him back. Drummond, or that's Fernando, my apologies. Sims, Cameron Johnson is here. We could bring him back to Phoenix. Obviously used to be here, so I'll sign him. Why not? To a minimum deal. But yeah, we're not great. So how are we gonna upgrade the 5 spot? I think it has to be Herter's contract. Herter. And let's say we threw a 1st. I don't know if there's anybody out there that has a center for us for the rest of the video. Let's see. Washington, Houston, Mason. We have Tony Jokic. Don't know anything about him. Kennedy Chandler. Jacob Little. 4 points, 4 rebounds, and a block. He's 23 years old. Might have go up and overall this offseason. I think we have to take our chances with him. Welcome to the team, Jacob Little. I don't know if you'll go up at all. If you do, that'd be beautiful. Player regression. Let's see what it looks like, and we'll see if we get a diamond in the rough center to be our center for the rest of the video. And we could maybe win a championship next year with Victor Wembanyama, maybe in Washington now. Let's see if he did leave, because that was probably the big reason why we lost. He went back to Spurs, didn't he? And he sure did. So, yeah. Spurs are still going to be a problem. But Little does not move at all, so our center position is still very, very bad, which sucks. But it is what it is. We're going to just roll with it. We'll see how... Actually, you know what we might be able to do? So we might be able to do this. We might be able to... Not that I want to. It's actually... We can't. Let's do this. So... Let's auto-generate these rookies, obviously, and then let's make this one final move that I think we can make. Actually, I guess we'll have to do it at the beginning of the season. But if we slid Booker to the point guard, Bane back to the 2, they are going to go down. But that would give us the ability to start McKenzie at the 3, which I think we can do. We need a new 5, and I think we can trade Suggs for a new 5, which sucks to do, but we need a 5 that we can rely on, and we don't have that. So... I'll throw Jordan Pope in there as well. If this gives me the 5 I'm looking for the rest of the video, we'll do this trade. Okongwu could be that guy. Mitchell Robinson, Nicholas Claxton. It sucks to do this. Trae Young is offered to us, which actually would be beautiful. But I mean, do we just get Trae Young and kind of roll with that? Trae Young, 23 points, 32 years old. Booker, Trae Young, and also Desmond Bane is interesting. We have Paul Banchero still as well. I kind of came in here looking for a 5, but... If I'm going to get Trae Young offered to me, we're going to do it. Why not? Let's go in on Trae Young. Trae Young. Now we have an interesting team. So now Bane will slow back to the 3. Booker will go back to the 2. And we'll just roll with those centers we have. So we just make other positions as good as possible. So yeah, we'll see how this goes. Aim in rotation. I'll see you guys for, actually, I think next year is the final season. So this year we're the 6th seed in the Western Conference. We had 29 from Devin Booker, 25 from Trae, 20, 19, 8, and 9 in a block. So we're actually getting solid... center play out of Jacob Little, Trevin with 8, and then 6 from Mac, and then, you know, obviously 3, 6, and almost a block from Nick Richards. So, Portland in round 1, they have Cason Wallace, they have Anthony Simons, Jaren Jackson, Mohamedo, wow, I don't know how to say that name, Jalen Suggs. We gave Jalen Suggs to Portland, I just noticed that, but whatever. I'm going to come around against them. We are going to beat them in 5. Again, it's the Spurs. They have Victor Wembanyama still and Cooper Flagg. I don't know if we can beat the Spurs, but here goes nothing. Brought in Trae Young to see if we could. The Spurs are going to have our number. So we got one more chance at them. I still think the center position is going to need that upgrade. I don't know if we're ever going to get it, but one more season here. So let's go straight to staff signing. Draft lottery is not going to matter for us, obviously. Staff signing, we're going to keep this all the same. Let's go straight to player options. So how are we going to... get a good center? I don't know if we're going to be able to. Little's actually making $7 million, so we might be able to combine him and somebody else to get a center. We'll see if we can. Obviously, contracts have gone up. Actually, I have cap space. I'm assuming someone's a free agent, though. Let me see. Paulo. Yeah, that makes sense. So, Paulo and Trevin, we're going to bring them both back. We're going to make sure we take care of that before we lose them for nothing. And then now it's time to sign a center, maybe. Can we sign a good center? Not really. So, contract trading it is. So, did Trae Young retire? Oh gosh, that's brutal. He retired at the age of what? How old was he? Or is he gone? Or he might be a free agent. Maybe he's a free agent. I was about to say there's no way he retired at 20 or how old? I don't even remember how old he was, but is it not going to give me the ability to bring him back? Okay, there we go. I can get Trae Young back. Okay, I was about to be a little worried there. So Trae Young is going to come back. Well, that's big. Obviously, I didn't want to really give him that big of a contract, but whatever. So all right, so we have Trae Young. We don't have a bench. We have a couple bench guys. All right. Jacob Little, he might go up even more, but I can't really rely on that. So I don't know if this gets me a 5 anywhere. It probably doesn't, but Michael Porter's pop up. Carl Mason. Yeah, we might just have to roll with Jacob Little for this last season and call it a day. All right, so we're just going to have to sign probably a guard and call it good. So Trey Man, welcome to the team. We're stuck. Little, if you want to go up to an 82 overall or something, you know, nice like that, that'd be really cool if you want. I'm just saying, this final season, I would take it because we definitely are going to need it. And that is going to be maybe the case. He is up to 78. So center position is still very much bad. Maybe we just trade Trae Young and I don't know. Like, let's see what this gets me. I feel like we got a Porzingis and Kobe Buffkin is interesting. We get our 5 in Porzingis. We get Florin Trey Murphy. Okongwu Michael Porter. Don't hate it. We get our center, DJ Wagner, Jalen Green, DeAndre Ayton. We also get Sabonis, who's gone down like crazy. I think we're gonna do this trade with the Hawks where we send him back to Atlanta. We get Porter. Okongwu is gonna be our new 5. I think the center position is a lot more important than having, unfortunately, obviously. So we're gonna move. Yeah, so it's gonna do something like this. I think we actually might have to trade Desmond Bane as well. He's actually really bad at this point. Down to an 81. Tyler Hero's being offered to me. We offered Jacob Little. I know Tyler Hero can be an absolute stud in the simulation. Might give us one more championship. So Bane and Little for Tyler Hero. Sure, why not? We have our center in. Okongwu, Richards will back him up. Hero will be our new 2 next to Booker. We'll see how this season goes. Final season here. We've consolidated a lot of things. Obviously, the further we go down in 2K, it's really hard to be as realistic as I can because we don't know what the future is going to look like in 10 years. Like, who can really predict that? So, right now, though, power ranking, not very high on us. So only 29th right now. So, yeah, we'll see how the season goes. 8-man rotation, the bench sucks, but we're pretty good as far as like, Paulo and Okongwu, Hero, Booker. So I'll see you guys at the end of this final season. So here we go. Thankfully, we don't have to run into the San Antonio Spurs till the conference finals. They've been the team that eliminated us both times here, but here goes nothing, man. Final season. We'll see how things go. Kind of excited and curious to see how these results are going to go for this final season to go. Maybe go win one last championship. Portland beat them last year, but every year is different. Somebody current round against Portland, and they are going to. So that's how the video is going to come to an end. I feel I almost regret not trading Booker. I think I should have just moved on from Booker and reset things. When the roster is younger, you do a lot better. So maybe that was my mistake. I feel like next time, if I had to do this, if I went back, I would have traded Devin Booker when I had the chance. Although he's not doing bad, he's averaging 30 points per game, but I think it would have, given me time to maybe reset things, build things back up, and we probably would have been a dominant contender in the West. But you know what? Hindsight is 2020. You're gonna have the Thunder go on to win the championship to end things off. Shaves your Finals MVP. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. Regardless, it was fun. Got really hectic towards the final part of the standard rebuild, which always seems to happen because rosters just get absolutely crazy the further you go into 2K. Everyone's just absolutely juiced, obviously. So yeah, that's just how things go. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video regardless. Thank you for watching as always. I'll see you in the next one. This is Crushables. I'm saying peace. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you click here to watch another video that I know you'll love.